Hi guys, it's Bryn, your Miss Kenosha 2016, and today we are going to be starting our Read It Out series for Counting by 7's. This is by Holly Goldberg Sloan. Chapter 1, Willow Chance. We sit together outside the Foster's Freeze at a sea green metal picnic table, all four of us. We eat soft ice cream, which has been plunged into a vat of liquid chocolate that then hardens into a crisp shell. I don't tell anyone what makes this work is wax, or to be more accurate, edible food-grade paraffin wax. As the chocolate cools, it holds the vanilla goodness prisoner. Our job is to set it free. Ordinarily, I don't even eat ice cream cones, and if I do, I obsess in such a precise way as to prevent even a drop of disorder. But not today. I'm in a public place. I'm not even spying. My ice cream cone is a big, drippy mess. I'm right now someone that other people might find interesting to observe. Why? Well, first of all, I'm speaking Vietnamese, which is not my native tongue. I really like that expression because, in general, I think people don't give this contracting muscle credit for how much work it does. So, thank you, tongue. Sitting here, shaded by the afternoon sun, I'm using my Vietnamese whenever I can, which turns out to be often. I'm talking to my new friend Mai, but even her always surly and scary because he's older, bigger brother, Quinn Ha, says a few words to me in their now only semi-secret language. Del Duke, who brought us here in his car, is quiet. He does not speak Vietnamese. I do not like to exclude people. I'm the one who's always excluded, so I know how that feels. But I'm okay with Mr. Duke being the observer. He's the school counselor, and listening's a big part of counseling. Or at least it should be. Mai does the lion's share of speaking and eating. I give her my comb once I've had enough. And all I know for certain, with the sun on our faces and the sweet ice cream holding our attention, is that this is a day that I will never forget. 17 minutes after our arrival, we are back in Del Duke's car. Mai wants to drive by Hagen Oaks, which is a park. Big geese live there year-round. She thinks I should see them. Because she's 2 years older than me, she falls into the trap of thinking all little kids want to stare at something like fat ducks. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate waterfowl. But in the case of Hagen Oaks Park, I'm more interested in the city's decision to plant native plants than I am in the birds. I think by the look on Del Duke's face, I can see his eyes in the rearview mirror, and he's not very excited about either thing, but he drives by the park anyway. Quinn Ha is slumped in the seat, and I'm guessing is just happy he doesn't have to take the bus anywhere. At Hagen Oaks, no one gets out of the car, because Del Duke says we need to go home. When we got to Foster's Freeze, I called my mom to explain I'd be getting home late from school. When she didn't answer, I left a message. I did the same thing on my dad's cell phone. It's strange that I haven't heard from either of them. If they can't answer their phone, they're always quick to return my calls. Always. There's a police car parked in the driveway of my house when Del Duke turns into my street. The neighbors to the south of us moved out, and their place is in foreclosure. A sign on the dead front lawn says bank owned. To the north are renters, who I've only seen once 7 months and 4 days ago, which was on the day that they arrived. I stare at the police car and wonder if someone broke into the vacant house. Didn't Mom say it was trouble to have an empty place in her neighborhood? But that wouldn't explain why the police are in our driveway. As I get closer, I see that there are 2 officers in a patrol car. And from the way they slouched, it seemed like they had been there a while. I feel my whole body tense. In the front seat, Quinn Ha says, "What are the cops doing in your driveway?" Mai's dart from her brother back to me. The expression on her face now looks to be a question. I think she wonders if my dad steals things, or if I have a cousin who hits people. Maybe I come from a whole family of troublemakers. We don't know each other very well, so these would all have been possibilities. I'm silent. I'm late coming home. Did my mom or dad think to get so worried that they'd call the police? I left them a message. I told them that I was okay. I can't believe that they would do such a thing. Del Duke doesn't even have the car completely stopped before I open the door, which is sort of dangerous. I get out and head towards the house, not even bothering with my red rolling luggage that's packed with my schoolwork. I've taken only 2 steps into the driveway before the door opens on the patrol car and a female officer appears. The woman has a thick ponytail of orange-colored hair. She doesn't say hello. She just lowers her sunglasses and says, "Do you know Roberta and James Chance?" I try to answer, but my voice won't come out any louder than a whisper. Yes. I want to add, but it's Jimmy Chance. No one calls my dad James. But I can't. The officer fumbles with her sunglasses. Even though she's dressed the part, the woman seems to be losing all her authority. She mumbles, "Okay, and you are?" I swallow, but my mouth is suddenly dry, and I feel a lump form in my throat. I'm their daughter. Del Duke is out of the car now, and he has my luggage with him as he starts across the sidewalk. Mai is right at his heels. Quinn Haw stays put. The second officer, a young man, then comes around and stands next to his partner, but neither of them speaks. Just silence. Horrible silence. And then the 2 officers turn their attention to Del Duke. They both look anxious. A female officer manages to say, "And where do you fit in?" Del Duke clears his throat. He suddenly looks like he's sweating from every gland of his body. He's barely able to speak. "I'm Del Duke. I work as a counselor for the school district. I see these kids for counseling. I'm just driving them home." I can see that both of the officers are instantly relieved. The female officer begins nodding, showing support and almost enthusiasm as she says, "A counselor. So she heard?" I find enough voice to ask, "Heard what?" But neither of the police will look at me. They're all about Del now. "Can we have a word with you, sir?" I watch Del's sweaty hand release from the black vinyl luggage handle, and he follows the officers as they move away from me, away from the patrol car, and out to the still hot pavement of the street. Standing there, they huddle together with their backs turned so that I watch. Standing there, they huddle together with their backs turned so that as I watch, they look lit by the low end of the day sun, like an evil 3-headed monster. And that's what they are, because their voices, while still muffled, are still capable of being understood. I clearly hear 4 words. "There's been an accident." And after that, in whispers, comes the news that the 2 people that I love most in the world are gone forever. No. 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 I need to rewind. I want to go back. Will anyone go with me? And that's chapter number 1 of Counting by 7's. I'll post chapter number 2 shortly.